Alright, so this is a Westinghouse Pacemaker fan. It's a single speed little fan. I did a short of this, but I never did an actual video. It needs a little work. Of course it does. I believe, if I remember correctly, I dated this to the early 1940s, late 30s. It's a pretty much all Bakelite fan, except for the blade and the grill. Everything else is pretty much Bakelite. Has a Cooper plug on it, so that's been replaced, but it's a good plug and it fits the style of it. It's a vintage looking plug. Has a, well, this whole cord's been replaced. This is a thick cord. There's a Chinese this China on it, but it seems like a good quality. It's a Leviton switch, so of course it's fine. This appears to be basically a condenser fan for a small refrigeration system. Years ago, back in 2016, I had a old condenser fan that had this blade on it. It was a two-phase motor from an old Westinghouse, some kind of cooler. I believe it was a Westinghouse, and that would make sense since this is a Westinghouse. It had the same blade on it, the same design blade. It just had a weird unit bearing motor kind of weird thing. I'm trying to remember if the blade was made onto the motor, if it was like an outrunner motor or what it was. But I remember it had the same design blade. So this is basically a condenser fan they put on a little motor and marketed it. Here's the information on the top. It's missing the rear cap here that goes over here, and I'd assume there's a felt wick that would be in there for the rear bearing. It's an oil-light bushing. I should have just gone to the auto parts store, but I didn't, and now I'm waiting. I have a bunch of felt washers I can use for that. I bought several different sizes and a bunch of them, so I have a ton of felt washers. I bought my first attempt at making a rear plug for it was buying Bakelite sheets and cutting a hole, which would have worked, except I bought the wrong kind of hole cutter. But I wasn't 100% happy with that anyway. And then I thought, wait a minute, engine freeze plug. So I measured it, and it came out to be just about, it was like 1.248 inches across, or it came out to be like 38.2 or 38.4 millimeters or something. It was so close to 1.25 inch. Like, it was within a half a millimeter. So I bought a ton. I bought at least 5 or 6, I shouldn't say a ton, 5 or 6 different engine freeze plugs, 1.25 inch. So we're going to try that. If I have to sand the plug a little bit, that's fine. And then I'll just drill a hole, because the front one looks like that's basically more or less what it is. It's a little metal plug with a hole in it, and a hole in the shaft, in the center for the shaft, and probably some kind of felt or cotton or some kind of wicking material. It's a single speed unit. It runs pretty warm. This motor gets very hot. I don't think there's a problem with it. I checked the power draw. It's supposed to be at, I think, 0.45 amps. It runs at 0.48 amps. So it's within, it's within a margin of error, really. I think they just run very hot because it's an old Bakelite motor. And there's hardly any ventilation. And it's got this pretty aggressive blade on it for a little shaded pole motor. I think these things just ran very hot, and that might be why there's not many of them around. But this one's cool enough that, if it burnt out, I would have this little stator rewound. Looks like it'd be easy enough to get out. So it's 1 speed only. Here's on. not overly powerful, but I mean, it throws a good breeze. I don't know if you saw on the back of the blades, but two of them have a round little slug on them. I guess that's for balancing. It's rattling a bit more than it normally does, but like I said, the back bearing's missing its oil wick, so I probably could give it a little more oil. But I'm going to clean it up a little bit and work on it a little bit once I get that plug in. Definitely needs a little oil. It's a very good spin down though. The blade's slightly out of clock, but it barely vibrates. It's almost perfectly balanced. I think I tweaked one of the blades a little bit. There's a little dink in the edge of one of the blades right there, so that might do something, but you know, otherwise it's fine. So once I get that freeze plug and I have some time, I'm going to play with this and try and get it a little nicer. So that's some of the original felt on the bottom. I might try and glue it back on. I'm thinking I should probably just replace it. Yeah, and there's the balancing weights. It's a cool little fan. I like it. It's cute.